Anderson.
No.
And if you could come on up here with me, come right up here. And I'll go right here and then we'll move back to the table in a couple of minutes. But Keith, I've known you since forever. It seems like it, forever. And Keith, it was a really a great mainstay through the middle parts of CBTA. I think it was the 80s into the 90s. Maybe even before the 80s, but anyway, he did lots and lots of things with Colorado Biology Teachers Association. And for one thing, he was treasurer for probably, 8 years, 7, 8 years?
Somewhere around there.
Something like that. And then worked with a newsletter. I remember going out to Keith's house and we would take labels and put labels on all the newsletters to send out in the mail. And then we go over to the bar, that close bar there. I remember that. That was the incentive to go and get the newsletters mailed out, is go to the bar. So anyway, Keith has been on the Outstanding Biology Teachers Committee. You were on that for several years, right? Under Raylene Owen, who was the director for the OBTA in Colorado. And he did that, and he had time to raise a really nice family, and I remember I have pictures of David at some of our workshops. I think he was like in his teens, 13, 14, something like that, wasn't Dave?
Yep.
When Dave came along, like down the Saguache Valley and down in San Luis Valley, and I have pictures of Dave in his overalls, and just really young guy. And now David is actually, he's matured, and he's actually the director and the chief scientist for the Colorado Natural Heritage Program. So just all that training that Keith gave him with the CBTA, going on all our field trips and everything, evidently paid off for Dave. So it's great. And Keith and I did a couple of workshops. I remember back in 2008, we did one down in Woodland Park, set one up, and Larry Stebbins helped us on that one. And we did a workshop in the shadow of Pikes Peak, I believe it was, something like that. And then we did another workshop before that in 2004 up here, Patterns of Conservation up here in Fort Collins. And I particularly remember that one because I think one night we went over to Bruce's and had Rocky Mountain oysters. And some of you were there, because I danced with you. So we were over there at Bruce's in a place called Severance, which you might put two and two together there. But anyway, Keith,
Think about it.
Think about it. Yeah, think about it. Severance, Rocky Mountain oysters. But anyway, Keith has been a stalwart with Colorado Biology Teachers Association. And I want to thank you so much for what you've done.
Thank you.
And I've got something to give you. And this is called Lifetime Achievement, a Lifetime Service Award. And we're presenting that to Keith Anderson. So here's the award. Be careful of that. We got a tape because that thing may slip out of there. And don't go away.
There's more.
Here's something else. And it's kind of heavy, so I don't know. You can check that out too. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, many happy years, and you and your wife are newlyweds, pretty much, huh? And
This is our 5th month's anniversary today.
oh wow! And I think Larry at the microscope company told me,
Yeah.
when I was at the CSC this last year.
Oh, okay.
And then Jen is Dave's wife, so Jen and Dave are here, and Chloe.
Cleo.
Cleo? Okay, Cleo. Okay, where did I get Chloe? I don't know. Anyway,
Everybody
Cleo.
does it.
Yeah, you might want to think about changing it to Chloe. So anyway, great. He brought his entourage. So, okay. Well, thanks a lot.
So just a couple of real highlights that I would want to pass on. this all started way back in the 60s sometime. My department chair got a hold of myself and another teacher there, Ed Butterfield, who some of you may recall. But now he said, hey, there's a meeting going on where they're trying to organize a biology teachers organization here in the state. He said, I want you to go over there. So we went over there and you know, talked with people and met a bunch of people, and this thing started to come together. And the guy who became the treasurer at that time decided he wanted to get rid of the treasurership. Well, he was retiring and moving out of the state. So turned that over to me, and like Mike said, I had it for quite a number of years. But then one night, Warren Buss brought his Apple II over to my house in Aurora. We went down to my basement, and I was keeping all the records, membership and treasurer records, on a Commodore 64. And somehow he managed to hook up to my Commodore 64, pull all the records off of there, and then he was the treasurer for, I don't know, 20 years or something like that. A very long time. It's just a marvelous career doing what he's done in CBTA. And so then when I retired in '91, kind of rattled around for a couple of years. Dave and I went up to Alaska and things like that. And then I bought the Dalton microscope. And a lot of you knew Larry Dalton and Roy Dean, who had it after him. And then I bought it from Roy Dean. And I had that for 12 years. And that started getting fun because I got into a lot of teachers' classrooms, and I was looking at them and saying, there's a pretty doggone good teacher. Well, at the same time, I was involved with the OBTA program with Raylene Owen, another very hard worker in the organization for years and years and years. And so I would talk with the teacher and say, hey, how about filling out this little bit of paperwork here and turning that in, and maybe you'll get a shot at being the outstanding biology teacher for the year. And so by the way of getting in and working on microscopes and all these classrooms, I managed to come up with quite a few OBTAs in the course of my career with the microscope business. So anyhow, that was it. The OBTA program is working on a little different format at this time, so I'm kind of out of that. So but I'm still trying to keep up with what's going on with CBTA and attending functions like this and enjoying the heck out of it. And I'm just tickled pink my family and my wife could be with me here tonight. This is kind of a special thing. Thank you very much.